Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I got some solar panels. I hit up Marketplace and got 10 of these used solar panels. These things are really nasty dirty. So what I got to do is clean these all up and give them a test, see if they even work. But I got them pretty cheap, so no big deal if they don't all work. I tested one came up at 40 volts at 2.2 amps, and what they're supposed to be is at open circuit they should be 40 volts at 3.84 amps. But I'm really far up north in Maine, so you know I can understand if these things aren't putting out like what they're supposed to. Plus they're used and dirty, so no big deal if they're a little under. They're just they're gonna help me. So right now I'm just using a little generator that's over there. It's it uses probably about a gallon a day. I barely use anything in there. For my refrigerator I use propane, and then I just power a few lights and my computer and TV, stuff like that. So I use about a gallon a day on that generator, but still that's $3 a day. So every 10 days it's 30 bucks. And since I'm using not that much power, if I got 10 of these panels, and if I can get you know, they're supposed to be 110 watts each, but you know, even if I can get 500 watts out of this to charge the batteries instead of using the generator to charge the batteries, you know, I think we'll be better off. So yeah, let's give this a try. So in the meantime, I got 10 panels to clean, so I'm going to clean all these panels up, and then I'll test a couple, and then I'm going to put them on top of the Connex here, because I'm in all woods. There's all woods around me, and I don't really feel like chopping down trees right now, so I'm kind of using this driveway. It's all open because of the driveway, and the sun's right up here, so it's kind of angling, so when the leaves come on here, these trees might have to go, but we'll see. Once it's still early spring, more late winter. There's still snow. It just snowed 2 inches last night, but melted today. But yeah, I gotta put these solar panels up on there just for the time being, try to get the system going, and then yeah, I might have to just trim these later. But all right, well, I'm gonna get to cleaning. I'll show you how dirty these are. These are nasty. Just do a little spot right here. Oh yeah, look at that, cleans right up. Look at that difference. Wow. All right, I got a lot to clean, so let me clean these up and we'll test them out. Well, cool. I just cleaned up the solar panel here, so let's give it a test. So on this, I'm gonna go to let's go to volts first. It automatically goes to AC, so I gotta put it to DC. So it's DC volts, and then gonna need two hands to do this, but hold on a sec. There we go. I got the probes in one of each of the connectors there, and then we're reading 39.17 volts, so it's only 1 volt off from what the readings say on the back of the panel. So the volts look good, so it's making volts. Let's see if it works on for amps. This tool's weird. It automatically, when you switch it, it automatically goes back to AC, so every time you gotta switch it back to DC. But anyways, it's 2.3 amps, so 40 volts at 2.3 amps. If you times 40 times 2.3, that's 80, so it's, I don't know, maybe 80-90 volts, or I'm sorry, like 80-90 watts it's putting out. So it's roughly what it's supposed to be doing. There's supposed to be 110 watts, and right now the trees are blocking a little bit of the full sun of the panel. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is a good panel. You know, it's reading pretty good. It's definitely gonna put some juice in those batteries, so we'll go with this one. And now I got my little ladder on top of the Connex, so I'll put this one up, and let's just do 9 more. All right, cool, here we go. Got another panel up, and hopefully these wires will reach. Oh man. You gotta be kidding me. Check this out. So I just put this panel up, and this wire needs to go into this wire, but they're short by like an inch. I can't believe that. Huh. I guess I have to rearrange the panels, so I'll have to flip them so they go that way, I guess. I think that's the only way I can do it. All right, well, lesson learned. Yeah, because I have the electric box is on right there underneath, and then the wire comes up to there, and then this electrical box is here. I guess I could flip it if I'm only doing 6, but then that really screws me for the last row. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to flip these panels this way. Well, cool, another brand new day. So here we are back at it, and I made a mistake yesterday, so I connected all these in series, and the total voltage on this came to 360. But last night I actually spent some time and read the owner's manual to the solar charge controller, and that thing can only handle 150 volts, but in at 80 amps. So what I could do is I need to split these up into series of 3. So I got 3 banks of 3, and I need to run each bank in series and then in parallel, and then that will keep the watts at just for 120 for each one of the 3 will be 120 volts, and then we'll just when we do the parallel of it, it'll add up the amps. So it should be something like this. I drew like a little diagram here, but anyways, you take the minus will come out like that, and then the positive comes out, and then these will connect to each other just like that. So that will be 120 volts. Bad handwriting there. And then you do the exact same thing for all 3, and then you add up all these banks. So the minus will go to the minus, we'll go to this minus, and then the same thing with the positive. The positives you'll just add up, put all those together, so you have one positive wire and then one negative wire, so positive and negative, or however it is. But anyways, you just do it just like that, and then the volts will on this side of it would be 120, and then it'll just add up the amps to each one. So yeah, I just got to rewire it to do that. And then the solar charge controller would be very happy that I did that. So yeah, let me work on that. So these 3 right here, I just hooked in series, and I got the probes on the end of the wires there. So let's check the voltage, and then the voltage is 115.5. So that will work out just fine. That's under the 150 limit. So like I said, I'll just have to do 3 sets of those series, and then we'll send 115 volts over to that charge controller. And again, here, these so that wire right there, there's special PV wire that you need to get, but right now I'm just seeing if the system works, and then I'm gonna go ahead and order all the wire that I need. And the ones on the solar panels are the right wires and right connectors. Like that one right there is the connector you're supposed to use and the wire you're supposed to use. But when I come down to like these connectors here, I'm just going I got some Romex that I'm going to use just to go down there for the temporary time being. But yeah, again, so if you see me use this wire, it's definitely wrong. I'm just testing stuff out. So now I got 3 sets of 120 volts each. I'm not sure what the amps are. We'll go measure it in a second. But I got all those set up that way, and then it goes to some Romex, which is also wrong. You're not supposed to use Romex, but that's what I got for right now. I'm in the woods off grid, so that's what I got. That's what I'm using. So let's go on over here and check out what voltage we got. We got 116.1 volts. Let's check out the amps. So the amps are 6.5. So cool, we're making power. So here's the specs on the Flexmax. So the max PV source, you don't want to go over 150 volts on open circuit. So we're at 115, so we're good with that. And then max PV current, short circuit 64, and then max inputs 80. So we're only at 6, so we're well within the specs. So we're good to hook this up. Let's give it a try. So I got it all set up. I got the plus and minus on the PV array, and then the plus and the minus on the battery. So here we go. Let's see if this thing will fire up. There it goes. She's working. So in we got 112 volts, and no, now it's kicking on. So there's a load on there. So now we got out 13.6, and the amps are 33. Wow. So now that there's a load on it coming in, we got 75 volts or so at 7 amps, and then putting out to the batteries is at 13 13.8 at 33 amps. Wow, that's a lot. I gotta turn this off for a second because actually, so this is a 12 volt 300 amp hour LifePo 4 battery, and you need to charge it a certain way. This was set up for lead acid, so I need to go into the settings here and change the voltage. And let me get that book that came with the battery. So the standard charging voltage on this needs to be 14.6 plus or minus 0.2 volts. So I'm going to go in the settings here and make sure that it's at that voltage. So I'm getting into the settings here. We'll go down to absorbing. I don't need a passcode. Come on. Alright, now I gotta go online and look up the damn passcode on this thing. Okay, it looks like it's 141. Let's see if that works. I'm gonna go to absorbing 14.6. I believe the float's supposed to be 13.5. I'm gonna look that up too. So let's see, the float charge here should be 13.4. I looked it up online real quick, and I don't see it in this book. I don't see it in the book where it says float charge. So online it's at 13.4, so we'll do 13.4 and exit, and we're good to go. So there we go, we're charging a battery. We're at 13.6, 13.7 at 25 amps right now. Well, sweet, we got it working. So yeah, no, again, all this wiring's totally temporary. Now I know the system works, and I got to go back and measure all this out, get all the right connecting wires and all the connectors and all the PV wire, and I'm gonna have to dig a trench for this. And I got that little mini X right there ready to do the job. So, and same thing with this. So I'm gonna put I got two of these batteries, so I'm gonna connect these in parallel. So again, the positive to positive, negative to negative. So we'll have two of these. So that will give me 600 amp hours at 12 volts. So yeah, I'll be able to run my little camper here for quite a while using that, and hopefully the solar will charge them up, and then I don't have to run that noisy generator over there. That thing's just so noisy all the time, and kind of sick of listening to it. So having some power come off of there to my batteries, that's gonna be awesome. Well, that's what I did today. A little solar to my camper, and yeah, now I can listen to the sounds of nature instead of that stupid generator. All right, well, thanks for watching, and see you in the next project.